It's been 7 hours and 13 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whoever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. Nothing can take away these blues, 'cause nothing compares to you. Hey guys, today we're gonna look at "Nothing Compares to You" by Prince. I know there's been some other versions of it, but anything Prince does is the best when he does it. So we're gonna look at that. It's a pretty simple song, just pretty much chords. I play a finger picking. You can play it with a pick and just kind of strum along to it. Either way is fine. But this is kind of how it goes and gives you a basic framework. If this isn't the key you want to sing it in, you can obviously add a capo and kind of move it around. But we're gonna do it like this. All right, so the verses and the chorus, there's just a little bit of variance. But actually, I guess a lot of variance, as you're going to see with the chorus. But it's pretty much, the verses are the same with the one little extra ending. So let's start with that. All right, so you've got the first chord you're going to play is a C chord. So you got, it's been 7 hours and 13 days. All right, so what we're switching to here, we've got a C. And if you want to do the C and then put your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the high E, that's not the worst thing in the world, just to leave it there. Because you can strum it or you can pick it. Either way is fine. But the chord you're going to switch to is a G with a B over it. So you're not going to play the G like this, your normal G. What you actually want to ring out is the B note, which is going to be the 2nd fret of the A string. And then you're going to do open D, open G, open B, and then your 3rd fret of the high E. Now I like to play it like this because it lets me accent with my pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B string. Just some hammer-ons and pull-offs as you see fit, right? So it's been 7 hours and 13 days. And then you're going into an A minor. Since you took your love away. Now here's the cool part. At the end of every kind of verse sequence, you hear this. So what that is some quick changes. You're gonna play a C chord, but you're actually gonna leave the low E open. You don't usually do this with a C chord, but like a C with an E over it. And you're gonna play that because you want the bass to sound like this. So you're gonna play a C with an E chord, with the E string, and quickly go to an F, quickly to a G, back to an F, and then you're right back into a verse. So that's a verse. Now the only way the verse changes is right before he goes into the chorus. You hear this distinct switch from where you ended the verse like this to this one where it says, but nothing can take away these blues. When he does that, so it's really the switch right into a chorus, we do an E7. So it's the same thing, we're just going to do, the verse is going to end with an E7 instead of that C, F, G, F kind of quick change. Alright, so if we go to that, I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. Nothing can take away these blues. So we got a normal E7. But then what you do is you kind of put your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the B string. And you can even like kind of bend it up a little bit if you want to. First of all, I just want to say, before we go to the chorus, I think it's super cool that he did a song and says nothing can take away these blues, and he does an E7 chord, which you know, knowing Prince and the musical genius that he was, I'm sure that was totally on purpose. So love it. Anyways, so that is how you would end a verse, and now we're gonna go to a chorus. So a chorus, it kind of is weird because it modulates a little bit. It goes, nothing compares to you. Sorry, that last chord you don't need. All right, so what you're gonna do is you start with a B flat. All right, you can do a bar chord. That's what I would recommend. You know, where you bar everything on the 6th fret, then you go, your ring finger goes on the 8th fret of the A, your pinky goes on the 8th fret of the D, and then your middle finger goes on the 7th fret of the G. So you go from that to an A minor. I do a bar chord because it's just right there. You could come back up here if you wanted to. To an A minor, and then you're gonna do a D minor, and then a G. No, sorry, D minor and then a C. You don't do the G. I don't know why I keep going back to that. C. Now this is just something I added into the song, just to kind of add a little bit of your own kind of flavor to it. But right before I'm going into another verse, I often do this. I go, so this would be a chorus. So it's just like kind of a Hendrixy thing to kind of simulate like a piano almost. So what you're going to do is after you play your C chord, you slide where you're barring the 5th fret of the A, D, and G. And then you can kind of just hammer on and off of the A string of the 7th fret and the A string of the, or excuse me, the D string of the 7th fret as well. And however you want to do that, it doesn't really matter as long as you just, however you want to do that, just kind of add that into the song. I think it's kind of cool. The only other part to that song is the bridge, I guess, but it's really, it kind of ramps up like it's going into a bridge, but then it's really just another verse, which is all the flowers that you planted, Mama, in the backyard. It's the same thing as the verse. So that's the whole song. I hope you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Again, that is Nothing Compares to You by Prince.